Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. I've got my partner in crime here, Joanna, and today we're going to be looking at the 3.7 gallon Imagitarium nano tank that's up in Joanna's craft area, and she recently did a lot of work to it.
It's one of my two tanks. I have two tiny tanks.
She is a budding fish room person, and now with two tanks, that's kind of a big deal.
It is.
So, and what is that, a combined like 9 gallons of water?
Almost.
Almost. So 2 tanks, almost 9 gallons of water, but it's a start.
Laugh it up, because someday I might have
Someday
a wall.
this may all be yours.
No, I may have in my workshop a tiny tank wall. What would you call that? Because you have walls.
Wall? Yeah.
You have like walls of tanks. I will have a wall, a tiny wall of tiny tanks.
A tiny wall, a tiny wall of tiny tanks?
That would actually be pretty cool.
We got to shrink the house. It'll be a tiny wall and a tiny tank. Okay, look at the little wall. Okay, so we're going to go upstairs and we're going to take a look at that tank. We're going to show you what you did to the tank. And we're also going to talk a little bit about, after having this tank for a while, what we like about it, what we don't like about it. We have some links in the description, and so one of the links I will put down in the description is the original unboxing of this tank and our initial thoughts, but now that we've had it for a while, it's time to update it, so stay tuned. All right, everyone, this is the 3.7 gallon tank. It is a massive tank, and so Joanna did this a little while back. And so I was thinking maybe you could tell us what you did, what you like about your setup here, the plants and everything, and the fish.
Design that I went with, I actually kind of looked on Pinterest for ideas because the shape of the tank is, very square and the size is very limited. So I kind of knocked off a design I saw on Pinterest.
So you hold on. So you pretty much just plagiarized your tank design?
No.
Is that a thing? Can you plagiarize a tank design?
No.
I wonder if you get in trouble for that.
No, Pinterest is all about inspiration.
And plagiarism?
No, it's not like that. You're in the science world. I am in the art world. So
okay. So it's okay to plagiarize in art.
I didn't I didn't take a picture of a piece of art and scribble my name on the bottom.
All right.
So anyways, yeah, it's just to get kind of a general idea, and just some sort of ideas.
Cool hardscaping.
Yeah.
So all right. So do you have a special name for this rock? Is there like a?
Well, yes. On the right, it's the zebra rock.
Yeah,
I'm
of
telling
course.
You,
Yeah.
I will prove it at some point. And the others.
We'll be looking forward to that.
Now the stacked rock on the left, which it kind of looks like a little. It's supposed to resemble like a little walkway, because it's a little microscape.
Fish need a walkway.
Well,
you ever see them climbing up and down?
Anyways, and these are the plants that I got from the GCCA.
Oh, that's right. If you haven't seen that, we did an unboxing at the GCCA swap. I'm going to put a link to that down in the description. So yeah, those are all the plants that we got when we held up all those bags. That looks really nice. So in the lower left-hand corner, is that the Nana Petite?
Yes, and that was the plant that I was so excited that I went there hoping they would have.
And there it is.
It's doing okay, right?
Front and to the center. Oh no, front and to the left, I guess that would be.
Yeah.
All right, so up on the hill there, that looks like some crip. And I think that was Crypparvum. Does that sound familiar? Did I ever say that word in the past? Because now I have no idea what crypt that is.
I have no idea. I can't keep all these plant names straight.
All right, and then
I don't know why you guys do that.
And we've got a big Anubias over there. That was Cophifolia?
Don't know.
Wow, you're a big help with that. The little skinny ones I know was Sagittaria.
Okay.
And then we've got another little Anubias on the right-hand side, and it looks like you've got the beginnings of some duckweed growing. So that's a highly sought after and coveted piece of greenery there that we now have in pretty much all our tanks.
Well, I don't mind it because they kind of resemble little teeny tiny lily pads to me.
Yeah, they look pretty amazing. Then we got the little beginnings of hornwort. So why don't we go ahead? I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom in here so we can see the actual. So let's go ahead and we're going to zoom in, and we've got that little bitty dude. He's colorful. That is an Endler, in case you didn't know, and I think there are actually 2 of them in there, right? And then the fish towards the rock. It's like right in the corner over there. I think that is a female Endler. Now, here's the question. We actually have a couple of unusual nano fish in this tank, and I'm trying to find where they're at. They are Heterandria elegans, and it's a really tiny fish from Colombia, and the females get a maximum of 1 inch. The males get like a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. They're kind of cool. They're not super colorful or anything, but they, oh, here we go. Is this one right here?
Yeah.
So again, super tiny. So nano tank like this, a 3.7 gallon, and yeah, this is a fish that fits pretty well in that size. And there's 2 of them. There's a male and a female. And so I don't really know if this is going to be something where we're interested in breeding the fish in this tank, because there are some things we want to talk about, since we are also doing kind of an update of this tank as well. Now, let's talk about the tank itself, because and I will put a link in the description. We did a video on how to set this up. We did a video on our initial impressions, and there were a couple things that I wanted to mention. So thing number 1 is the light. And at the time, I was concerned that the light was not going to be strong enough to grow plants. And that actually has turned out not to be the case. So as you can see, we've had the plants for a while. Now, these are all low light plants. Anubias and Crypts, these are definitely low light. But they're growing just fine, and they look fantastic. We've even got a little bit of algae. But there is one major problem, this problem, and that is...
I know.
The flow.
What do you call that? Yeah, the flow.
Yeah, this filter is way, 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 way too strong for this tank. So here is the thing. As I pan back a little bit, this tank is kind of cool. I do like the tank, but the filter is way too strong. In fact, we had a betta in here, and that absolutely did not work, because that filter was really blowing the fish around. So it's something you have to consider if you're going to purchase this tank. One of the ways to deal with that strong outflow would be putting some type of filter. Normally you would put a filter intake sponge, and you could probably actually use it as a filter outtake or a filter return sponge, just to break up the water flow. You can see even now it's really moving. There is a switch on the back where it appears as though you can kind of adjust the flow, and I've played with that switch a couple times, and it did absolutely nothing. At least I didn't notice anything. So it is a big drawback from what we've found. It's important. If you're going to put a betta in here, it's not going to work. Not unless you've got some type of a sponge or some way to slow down that return, because it is way too strong for a betta. It will just eventually tire out and just lay at the bottom. You can even see these little guys here. They are at times fighting the current, so we probably will at some point put some type of a sponge on here just to make sure the flow is a little bit slower than what we're seeing. So what do you think? Final thoughts? What do you...
It's very easy to move the light out of the way, and actually the cover comes off nicely, as opposed to my plastic lid on my other tank.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little clumsy, and it's just very very simple looking, and it's very easy to see on 3 sides. It's a little weird, wonky on the corners there where that gets magnified, so sometimes my tiny fish look really big, but they're
like
not.
the tiger teddy.
Yeah.
The dangerous tiger teddy.
Yeah. But I actually like it. I like it a lot, except for the flow issue, which I think maybe
it's crazy.
You could fix
We'll
it
fix
or something.
it. Yep, we'll work on it. So that is the 3.7 gallon Imagitarium Deluxe Pro, and again, I think she did a fantastic job on the hardscaping for this little bitty tank. All right, everyone. So that is the 3.7 gallon Imagitarium Pro Deluxe tank.
How do you remember all that?
I don't even know. I think it's just baked into my brain. It's one of the many things I have in my brain that I really probably don't need to be storing, and it's pushed out other really important things. So, like I can't remember.
When to take out the garbage.
Hey, we don't want to be airing that on TV.
Yeah, but
I don't take out the garbage because
really don't.
But I do remember the name of your tank, so it's kind of like a win-win.
Okay, all right.
It's a win-win.
And you know fish names and plant names, which
Yes.
I no idea.
And I
except for
forget
Nana
to-
Petite.
Awesome.
I do know what that plant is.
So-
It's my favorite.
We've established that I know the names of tiny tanks, but sometimes I forget about garbage day. All right, so your final thoughts on the tank? Do you like it?
I do. I like it, and I thought it was really fun to do.
It looked really
and
fun.
I think it turned out, and I really love the super, super tiny fish, and I hope that they like it too.
And I found those tiny fish, remember? I said, hey, look, I found you some tiny fish.
You did. You
Yeah.
did. So that was a great score.
Yeah. So that is the tank. You're going to be doing probably some more hardscaping up there, right? Because you've got a few other smaller tanks that you're going to work on.
I've got a 5-gallon right now that...
It's actually it's a 5.5.
Oh,
Smart.
is it? Really?
Yeah, you're off by 10%, but it's okay.
Oh, wow. I
Uh,
didn't
that-
know it was over 5 gallons.
That half a gallon makes a big difference.
It's a real stinker. Oh,
Yeah,
I
well,
am.
don't-
I've been working with it way too long. It's just
Yeah.
not turning
It's
out.
gonna be
It's
okay.
a catastrophe.
It'll be okay. All right, everybody. So if you like this video, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Beard. I gotta fix my beard. All right, ready? Let's